we as winemakers, these were the principles and the basics of our academic work. To find areas where you have sufficient everything: water, nutrients, good soil, good weather, ventilation, healthy weather. So, Lebanon ticks all the boxes.
Hi, welcome to the Industrial Kingdom podcast, the manufacturing and agriculture show of the MENAT region. I am Faouzi Issa, the founder of the Industrial Kingdom Consulting Services. Our team of expert consultants provide advisory services to businesses and investors in the agriculture and manufacturing sectors around the Middle East, North Africa, Turkey, and CIS countries region. Today, continuing with our series of industry innovators, I am very happy to be receiving Mr. Faouzi Issa. Welcome, Faouzi.
Thank you, Valerie.
Faouzi is the winemaker and owner of the Domaine de Tourelles Winery and Arak Brun. And he will be telling us a bit about his winery and his innovative approach to winemaking and marketing. So, Faouzi, welcome again. Can you please tell our audience a bit about yourself and your winery's history, which is
Thank you, Valerie, for inviting me today and for the great initiative. My name is Faouzi Issa. I'm the co-owner and winemaker of Domaine de Tourelles. It's a family business, and we bought the winery 25 years ago. Our family and another family, Issa al-Khouri. So the Issa from Zahla and Issa al-Khouri from Kharri. I came back to the winery in 2009 to be back to the family and start working in the technical part.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, we developed the winery from being the oldest winery to the most dynamic winery today, using the fresh blood and young team in the winery. The story and history in a couple of words about Domaine de Tourelles. It is a winery that started in 1868 in central Bekaa Valley by a French family called Brun family. And these people, they recognized the importance of Bekaa Valley microclimate, and they decided to invest in producing the first commercial winery in Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
So we own the title to be first commercial because it was the first winery to launch a ready bottle to the market.
Okay.
But in Lebanon, the wine exists, since thousands of years, and we're in this beautiful race between Lebanon, Georgia, and all the Caucasian countries that everyone claimed that we are the first.
Oh, is it a race?
But yeah, it is. And we think that Lebanon is among the oldest producers of wine, or at least the traders of wines.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1868, Domaine de Tourelles was founded in Bekaa Valley to produce wines high quality to the market, and generation after generation, until the last generation, who passed away in Pierre Brun in 99, without any offsprings, any descendants, any succession.
Uh-huh.
And that time we were interested to buy, along with the family of Issa al-Khouri that were connected to the wife of Pierre Brun.
Oh.
So we bought the winery 50-50, and today we kept the family spirit, and we're all hands-on, and I think that's one of the juicy factor of the Mediterranean.
Bravo, that you're all hands-on also, kind of like a strength in a way.
Totally.
And you've also kept the Arak Brun tradition and let's say patrimoine, like really well alive. So you didn't change it a lot, and it's still part of the Lebanese heritage, we can say now. You've developed that really well.
Yeah, Arak Brun was always the big brother of Domaine de Tourelles, and it was always the cash cow, I would say, until today, where Arak Brun participated or played a major role in the investment of the wine sector, because we in 2 words, Domaine and Tourelles wines were very developed in terms of volume and market in the 50s and the 60s.
Uh-huh.
And when Pierre Prin, the last generation, got the idea that there is no chance biologically to have succession, to have kids, because he didn't have kids. So he was kind, I would not say depressed, but kind of demotivated to
Continue
and develop the wine, because the wine sector is much more complicated than the Arak and the spirit sector.
True.
So all the wines from great quality of terroir were transformed to Arak. That's why Arak Brun became one of the high quality Arak back in the 70s and 80s, because it was distilled by using top notch grapes, and grapes that were known for the wines.
How long we've known each other, and I've known the brand. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not something that is very public, but I mean it's one of the secrets of Arak Brun, that in the 70s and 80s it was made by great quality grapes, and then so the wine dropped until 2000, where we bought the winery and we started to gradually build up again the sector of the wine. And today I'm proudly I can say that the wine is equal to the Arak and even more, because we are exported in 30 countries.
Yes. So in many aspects of the winemaking industry, you have become really well known as an innovator. So can you tell us a bit, firstly, I'm going to discuss your choice of grapes. Can you tell us why did you choose to introduce the local indigenous grapes into your winemaking, and how did that develop? I'm sure it was a challenge, or it was an innovation at the time.
Valerie, and I've started in the business of Domaine de Tourelles, I mean in the family, at the age of 26. So I was a bit young, so I wasn't that prepared to be full on investment and innovation. I wanted to just take the lead in driving the bus correctly without taking any bad move.
Uh-huh.
So in 2009 we implemented a strategy of improving and developing the portfolio of the winery in a classic way. So we started to investing in the winery as a structure of the winery, rather than planting grapes. Until 2008-9, where the crisis came, Corona came, we felt that it's the end of the world. And and personally, I was a kind of feeling that I've probably something is missing in life. You know, you need to take the action. You need to stop postponing projects and probably invest with time, with money, and use all your tools. At that time, we had money in the banks, and the destiny was that the money will vanish soon. Vanish soon. Your dreams will, you will keep postponing your dreams. And so I decided in 2019 that I want to launch in the plantation and do one of the most beautiful vineyard in Bekaa Valley. That was part of my first, let's say, action to move forward in the winery. So we planted one of the most complicated and beautiful vineyard in Twaiti, that is 25 hectares, that costed us a lot of money. And without the pressure of the crisis, I would never thought that I would do that step.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that gave us a lot of, there's talent is something and hard working is something else. You can achieve and succeed without having probably a talent, but to be disciplined and persistent and determined. And this is what made us during that period, that since we're hands-on and we believe in our product, it's a family business and it's our risk, and we're from Bekaa Valley, and we felt that we needed to invest, and it was the opposite of the wave.
True.
The wave wasn't
At
that.
the time, you took a big risk. So how much was the total of the plantation, you said?
It was a $1.5 million investment on 25 hectares, but we're talking about hills,
and this is why I didn't mention it. Faouzi was dubbed by the Financial Times. I always love telling this story, the emperor of the Bekaa. So it's because of that move, right? Did it coincide with that time, with the article in the Financial Times?
You like always to mention.
I like.
But it was one of the interviews with a British journalist about Bekaa Valley, and since I mentioned that we have grapes all over Bekaa from West, Central, and East, so she said that, I mean, you're like the emperor of Bekaa Valley. I said yes, I'm the emperor.
So you accepted the compliment.
I love to be the. Bekaa Valley. I mean, Bekaa Valley has a sweet spot in my life. I'm born and raised in Zahli,
and the wine history related to the Bekaa and Baalbek.
The wine history
makes so much sense.
You know, the essence of Bekaa Valley made us made the wine exported everywhere. I mean, we will talk about that, yes. But I mean, Bekaa Valley is the most attractive focal point about Lebanon.
You must tell us now a bit about the moves you've made to grow and expand your brand so much on the international markets. I mean, obviously you're good with the press and you're good at that. But what differentiates the Domaine de Tourelles winery in its export strategy or approach?
It's interesting, Lano. Sometimes, there is a lot of new wineries now. Currently, we know that a lot of new wineries popping up in Lebanon without the marketing strategy, without the sales strategy. And during my first trade trip, it was my first one in 2011 to the UK.
Was it a trade mission or you took it?
I took the wines and I wanted to open a market in England, but I never knew how to do it. I'm a technical guy. I was never a trade guy. I was never a salesman.
So we can't tell it, right?
Probably I became.
Yes.
But when I took the wines, I traveled to the UK and I participated in one of the very renowned tasting, including 10 countries, for example, Argentina, Italy, France, Spain, America. So most of the tasters were focusing on starting with Lebanese wines because it was an interesting topic for them. They wanted to know what this country that is, hidden, not hidden, but breaking news about wars, problems, conflicts, and why people they talk a lot about Lebanon. So, to make the long story short, when I came back to Lebanon, I discovered that Lebanon is interesting. Lebanon has a lot to show, to expose to the market, and people are interested to know about that. So I started to use that point, focus on what's exciting about Lebanon, and trying to take it everywhere.
You kind of acted like an ambassador.
But the more you succeed, the more it becomes, an addiction. I even went to Malta 4 times.
An addiction to success at these events.
To challenge yourself. I went. There is a funny story that most of Americans they consider Ohio as one of the most boring states in the States. I went probably more than 12 times to Ohio to sell my wines. Today is one of our biggest markets. This is to say
maybe you introduced some fun in Ohio.
Always you have to mix fun and in Ohio and everywhere. But it's the idea is that nothing is impossible, and when you have all the tools, beautiful wine, beautiful climate. Microclimate of Lebanon is one of the few rare terroir in the world, and I will explain that if you want. The story, the conflicts, the religions, the controversial situation of the country.
And you included all this in your identity.
In the identity, and every time we visit a new country, there's a huge interest on knowing all these tools and getting to, it's like getting the ticket to the party. I just need the ticket to the party to meet people, and then it's on my own to attract a client. And once you get the ticket to the right people, it's a no-brainer.
So I think, if I may kind of synthesize that, is you've done a great job at storytelling. Would you say that?
Yeah, definitely. But storytelling includes real facts,
Of course.
Which is the quality of the country, the wines.
You were able to convey the whole message and kind of bottle it in your wine, right? Yeah. That's great, Faouzi. And in that part of your activity, I see you mentioned a lot the microclimate of Lebanon. I think also you show it, you market it as well to the international community. But what is special? What makes Lebanon different as a terroir?
Naturally, we live in Lebanon, so we don't know. We do not appreciate how much Lebanon or the weather of Bekaa Valley is important in real life. So because we know it because we lived it. It's not that we lived. Did you experience another climate? Did you live in the States? No.
Yeah, I've lived in a few countries, but I grew up here.
Lebanon is known to be, to have a 4 seasons, correct 4 seasons. You have the weather, the winter weather, the summer, the spring, the fall. This is crucial for agriculture. The plant, especially grapes, it needs to hibernate correctly. It needs to flower, bloom, have a healthy vegetative cycle, mature correctly, enough sun to get good sugar, good alcohol, the roundness of the tannins. And we as winemakers, these were the principles and the basics of our academic work. To find areas where you have sufficient everything: water, nutrients, good soil, good weather, ventilation, healthy weather. So, Lebanon ticks all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
All the boxes. In terms of, let's start with the organic. It's a dry weather. You don't have humidity, therefore you don't have diseases.
Uh-huh.
Water. It's not a dry area. We have rainfall and we have snow on the mountains. The mountains, they separate the valley. So you have more water coming during the spring. So we don't have dry weather. We don't have droughts. We don't have excess arid climate. 3, you have the sun. It's the city of sun. Baalbek, city of
Heliopolis.
Sun. Heliopolis. So we have that as well. 4, we have diversity of soil. Since you are between 2 valleys, 2 mountains, Mount Lebanon and the
Anti-Liban
mountain. So you have a lot of difference in the soil texture.
Okay.
The more you're close to the mountain, the more gravelous you'll be. The more you're in the middle, you'll be more clayey and more deep soil. So you have different types of soil to cope with different varieties of grapes.
Do you capitalize on that? Do you play around with the different soils?
Depending on the variety, which one likes deep soil or heavy soil or light soil. So you have all the tools. Adding to that, you have the story and the history. And the geographical position of Lebanon, that is in the middle of the earth, where you're really connected to everyone.
Yes.
And adding diaspora, the Lebanese diaspora that are connected everywhere in the world. You're on the Mediterranean, which means you're easy. You have easy access to shipments. You have everything. Once I was. This is outside the probably the plan, but they told me why you're so proud of Lebanon. Why do you think Lebanon is so? You're always positive. You're always thinking that Lebanon is the best.
The best, yeah.
Because I mean, but you have problems. I said, and it was in a country. People asked me. It was in a country in Scandinavia, and I was telling them yes, because I mean, it's true that Lebanon, we have the beautiful weather, we have the good.
I know where this is going.
But I mean, we have all the what we dream of, but I mean, at the same time, we have problems: politics, Muslims, Christians, multi religions, conflict in politics. I mean, it's fine. I mean, we need balance. And in Scandinavia, they have the resources, the natural resources, the stability,
the government support.
The government support. I mean, all what you need, but at the same time, they have 6 months of night.
Yes.
So I mean, there is balance everywhere in the world.
Exactly.
And we are happy about what we have now. And,
so, would you say this, like this microclimate, also pushed you to kind of focus more on the indigenous grapes that we mentioned?
The indigenous grapes came on screen. I mean, 7 years ago, because we wanted to highlight the identity of Lebanon.
Exactly. So that ties it up for you, like for promoting Lebanon and its indigenous.
Totally,
products.
because I mean, Lebanon is known to have international varieties, and we don't want anymore to be criticized. Exactly. That I mean, we are one of the oldest countries with international varieties. So where is our?
Then you have to compete also.
To compete. So we started to be more curious about innovating with native varieties from Lebanon, and this is why we created a selection called Vieillevin, for old vines.
Old vines.
And then we've made 2 reds and 1 white one.
What were they?
But the funny story is that the reds are made from international varieties, but we call them adopted varieties because we treat them better than Europeans.
Yeah, so you had the Carignan,
Cinsault.
And
the white is Meroueh
and Obeidi. You mixed Meroueh and Obeidi, or one?
We mixed them. We mixed them.
Okay, I'm a big fan of
I know.
Okay. Yeah, so with that, it means you've also, other than the classic Domaine de Tourelles wine, you've introduced this. And we also see that you're constantly introducing new products to your line, new SKUs, even not just as wine. What is the motivation or like the motor behind your innovation and constant growth?
It's probably the trying to challenge ourselves during that period of Lebanon. I mean, the more we have problems, the more we want to counterface the situation and create. I mean, start with new products and try to fill the gap, because I mean. You're probably talking about the gin and the Glenbay.
Yes, gin and whiskey.
Gin, yeah.
And you have all the others. You have also the liqueur. These are like from your old.
These were all from the old, from the old portfolio. But the gin and the Glenbay, both of them came during the inflation period, and we found ourselves. You were part of the project of the Glenbay, yes. And we were thinking that we needed to benefit from the situation of the inflation instead of the local market shifted from imported products to local products. So that's why we took the initiative in producing local gin and local whiskey that today they're performing amazingly.
That was a great move, and I'm sure now, even after that crisis is gone, you still you would see like the results of that initiative will keep coming. I'm sure you're gonna create more products as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So I would like also to touch on a very particular topic for us in this industry. What do you do as Domaine de Tourelles Winery in terms of sustainability, environment? What's your environmental policy? Let's say, what do you do?
We've done a lot. By the way, we sent a newsletter 2 months ago about our environmental move.
I must sign up. I'm not on.
Yeah.
Okay, remember to sign up to the Domaine de Tourelles
newsletter. So part of it today, we operate 100% on solar panel.
Nice.
The whole winery. We recycle 100% all our residues in terms of grapes residues from the fermentation. We have a contract with a company in Bekaa Valley to take all our residues, transform them into compost, and then we buy again the compost to organic compost to spread in the vineyards.
Nice.
We recycle all cartons, plastic, and even glasses. Some of them are with Seed and Environment, Siada Bishake. The others were with other companies like Sycamo or other one in Bekaa Valley.
So you send, they come and pick them up?
We send on monthly basis all the all the plastic, recycled plastic that we have. What else we do? I mean, in the process, we have a lot of things that we participate with the environment. Like we use our native yeast. We don't buy yeast from the market. This is very important for our microcycle in the wines. We use lion thistle. What we call lion thistle is the thistle that we used to be produced long time ago to do the first filtration of the wines. So we get it from the mountains.
Wow.
Well, what else we do to protect the environment? We have the program of in the shops that everyone, if you send us back 12 bottles empty, you get a bottle for free.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I have many
a lot of bottles.
I do.
I mean, we care a lot about the environment. We care a lot about keeping our entourage healthy and I mean close to nature.
Great.
And this should be something inclusive with everyone.
Exactly, it should be automatic, but it's hard. Sometimes you have to get used to implementing these techniques. Not everyone can shift from their normal procedures.
Absolutely.
I think you've started your process with these things in mind.
Absolutely.
Right? So as we come to the closing of our session, what would you tell our audience about Lebanese wine? How would you, like, if people would like to try, why should they try? And usually when you go to these international trade shows, what do you tell about our wines?
I might sound a little bit I would not say Chauvin, but
biased.
Biased, but it's the nature of how we think as people from the industry in Lebanon. But what I want to say to the Lebanese market and community is to invest in local products and believe in local products. Try to explain to I would say let's take an example, restaurants that they do not list Lebanese wines, because you have plenty of new trends in Lebanon that restaurants, they think themselves that they are premiumizing their concepts in only exclusively listing French wines or Italian wines, rather than giving the seat for at least part of their menu to Lebanese wines. And I think this is a big shame for us, and you feel, I mean, it's disturbing to go to restaurants and
it is.
So I mean, the message to the Lebanese community is to believe in the local products and to encourage this industry, especially in the wine, where we really show to the world that we have a top class terroir, a top class product. And we are on basically we are on all the menus of big capitals in the
Give
world.
us an idea of your export countries.
England, for sure, number one. Then we have Norway, Sweden, the United States, Canada, Dubai, Iraq, Hong Kong, Singapore. We are in 35 countries in the world.
In restaurants and on the shelf.
On trade, shelf and restaurant.
Well, you are a great testimony to Lebanese creativity and enterprise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Valerie.
For your time.
I have to witness as well your energy in that field and how you're very well connected to each one of us, and you keep keep improving your business, and we're all standing next to you.
Yeah, thank you. That means a lot. So, and to our viewers and listeners, thank you. If you have any questions or comments, please send me the email and I will forward them to Faouzi. And make sure to subscribe our YouTube channel, to our Spotify channel, and follow us on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. And let's stay in touch and wait for our next episode of the Industrial Kingdom podcast. Thank you and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.